Well, good morning to all of you six-figure musicians. I thought, last night I watched Mark's video, so I thought this morning as I'm having breakfast, I thought I would kind of share my thoughts as well on the class. So, class has been super great. It's changed the way I write music. It's challenged me in different ways, but where I am at the moment is because I write a lot of material, because, you know, Cathy and Son are always saying you have to create new material. You have to keep writing. That's basically the bones and the essence of the class. If you don't write, if you don't create new tunes, it's not going to work. If you have 2 tunes, if you have 3 tunes, even if they're super solid, you're going to have more of a chance if you have like 30 or 50. Or people who've been licensing for years now, 200. However, I said this to somebody, I don't want to create 20 songs about color that are just okay. You know, I want to create, if I'm going to create 20 songs about color, I want them to be good enough that I would release all of them on an album. Or release all of them as singles. As I'm learning, people don't really release albums anymore. So where I'm coming to now is I'm feeling a little frustrated because I'm having a hard time connecting with producers. So I have connected with some amazing producers in the class, but let's be real, people are busy. People have lives. And it's not easy for any of us, but in my situation, I said this before, that I have Parkinson's disease, so I never really know what I'm working with. I get up, I have breakfast, do some exercise. There may be half an hour, 2 hours that I'm able to work on music, and that might be it for the entire day. So it's not simple. It's not a simple thing for me to say, okay, here's a song, and then pay someone to produce it because I don't have the money. It's just not there at the moment. So I'm trying to connect with producers. And I feel it's important that you connect with a producer who is as passionate about the song they're producing as you are, right? And then you can split it however you want, equally on the master or right down the middle, however you want to do it. But that's where I'm at right now. I'm kind of frustrated that I'm having a difficult time connecting with producers. It's not hard, it's just challenging. So, I will say one thing that came to me last night as I was going to sleep about the writing. Because I feel like as an artist, what Cathy and Sonnet always say, you need to be authentic. Right off the bat, number 1, you need to be authentic. So I take that to heart. And I see all of the themes: color, brand new, don't worry, female empowerment, freedom. So every time I write a song, I kind of look at the list. But still, I'm writing a song like Robbie would write a song. Because I don't want to end up with something that sounds like so many other things sound. Like a lot of music today is sounding very similar to each other. Artists that are not even in the same genre, they kind of sound similar. With the gang vocals and the clapping and the hey. I just try to think, how can I make this catchy? Which is basically what we're trying to do anyway when we're making music. We're trying to make music that sounds good to us. So then I kind of like, okay, I'm writing a song the way I normally would, but how can is it like a subtle change in the lyrics? There is, the example that I thought of last night goes all the way back to when I was in school, grade 1. And the teacher, Mrs. Rutledge, she was getting all of the students to go up to the board and write the number 1. So you have 30 kids in the class. Everybody walks up to the chalkboard, grabs the chalk, and everybody draws a number 1. Piece of chalk, number 1. So after and I've always been this way as long as I can remember. This was going back to grade 1, so that's probably as far back as I could remember. As everybody continued to go up to the board and just draw, it didn't look like the number 1 to me after a while. It just looked like everybody was going up to the board and drawing a line. So when I went up to the board, I drew the Roman numeral for 1. Because at least in my mind it was different. We were all still writing the number 1 on the board. I just did it in a different way. The teacher said it was wrong, but it wasn't wrong, but it was different from what everybody else had done. It was still the number 1. And I thought there's a lot of truth in that, really, in what we're doing. So we still have to be us. Robbie still has to be Robbie. April still has to be April. Mark still has to be Mark. We have to bring our essence to these tracks because it's still our music, right? It's still important to us. We don't want to write so much that we burn ourselves out and then have nothing and then just feel like, what am I really writing it now? I feel like that is the number 1 most important thing that I've learned so far. I still have to be Robbie. I still have to do this like Robbie. It still has to sound like Robbie. Otherwise, it's not authentic. And if it's not authentic, what is the point? So nice to be in the class and so nice to see so many new people and posting, trying to keep up on the new tracks, but there's a lot of people now. I don't know if I showed you guys this yet. My vision board has it's branching out into more of a vision wall. So over here we got my songs on the left, finished songs in the middle, and songs to be licensed on the right chalkboard. Of course, my man, the king, Elvis, vision board. I framed a song that I was working on because I had this really super nice frame for years, and I'm like, why don't I put something in this? And when I put that in it was like, oh, this is exactly what should have been here all along. So I would love to see a video from everyone. Mark, thanks for the idea for posting this. And everybody just give an update. Where you are, what are you being frustrated with? What are you being challenged with? Because it's super interesting, and we're not going to it's okay to get frustrated. It's okay to get stuck, but we need to know how to move on. Cathy gave some tips at the beginning of the year. You could every day write down 5 things you're grateful for. And write down 3 action steps that you could do that day, every day, that'll bring you closer to your goal. So I've been doing that as I abruptly jump out of the frame. I've been doing that every morning since the beginning of the year. And also, I started doing one other thing. My friend posted this thing where every day you write on a topic. So there's a list, and I can post it. Every day there's like a different topic, and you just write on that. Who are you? What's your favorite color? There's one for every day of the year. So I added that to my book every morning. 5 things I'm grateful for, 3 action steps for the day. And today I knew I was going to do this video this morning. And I thought, well, it would be interesting after I read the topic for the day to give that at the end of the video, because I think it is so important in general, but to where we are in this class right now. When you get frustrated, this is what we can come back to. So grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and write this down, and write on this topic today. What is your life story in 3 words? 3 words. 3 epic words. All right, friends, it's always lovely to get to speak with you. Big things are coming, but you gotta stay in the game. I'm doing my best. I'm working hard. I'm writing new material every chance I get. And don't get burned out. Don't get frustrated. Just play the game smart. Love you. See you soon.